Good morning. My name is Bill Allen. September 30th, about 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure you're finding all this information on the website difficult to believe because you've never seen this in the news or online. And to demonstrate that you're correct, it's not in the news or online, I'd like to show you some reports. This is a statement in an article by the World Health Organization. Basically, they say oxygen therapy remains inaccessible to children. That's an amazing statement that I found about 3 years ago. I can't find a doctor on the planet that disputes that statement. This is 400 of the world's oxygen doctors and practitioners, 74 pages of them, in 22 countries. They sell oxygen in every way imaginable. You can go through that. I haven't gone through every page, but if anybody wants to, I think you'll find that no one is promoting free oxygen. If they were, they wouldn't even be in business. Business doesn't do free, and I think that's the main reason why you've not seen this online or in the news today. Now, amazing article I just found a few days ago, which also supports this idea that it's not in the news or online. This is a hospital in India has 64 children on oxygen life support, and they can't pay the hospital bill, which is about 1.5 million. Either the hospital or the oxygen provider turn off the oxygen, and all 64 children die, accompanied mostly by their parents, maybe all of them accompanied by their parents. Proves two things. The children are all alive in the first place because of oxygen, and without the oxygen, the extra oxygen provided by the hospital, they die. My belief is if these children or the hospital or the doctors or the parents knew how easy it is to breathe extra oxygen into the system, ridiculously easy, some or most of these children would be alive today. My contention is a child can sit on the sand in Africa, in a village, take a few breaths and increase their blood oxygen level. The closest thing I can demonstrate to you now that this does exist is this. I just did this a few days ago. What I'm doing on September 27th there is showing, using the news, one of the news channels, that at 6:48 in the morning, my oxygen level is 95 and my heart rate is 74. And at 7:30, after doing 6 of these very special breaths, amazingly simple. Well, actually it was 5. I correct myself. At 7:30, I think it was 42 minutes later, which is typical for me. Most people, their blood oxygen level increases in 25 minutes. A person with blood oxygen level of 90 will increase to 97 in 25 minutes. 88 increases to 93, 95. I've seen a lot of people at 92, 93, and they increase to 97. So I increased to 99 oxygen and 56 heart rate. So two things happen. Oxygen is like a superfood to the heart also, so it helps the heart. My atrial fibrillation and genetically high cholesterol, both, for all intents and purposes, disappeared 6 years ago when I started this. Here's oxygen, here's blood test results from 2015. 2008, I was at 788 total cholesterol, and in 2015, 2 years after I started this, I shocked my doctor when he saw that my total cholesterol was down to 525 after probably a lifetime of a 750 average. Next thing I'd like to show you is, this is one of the world's most respected physiologists. His name's John West. He studied the lungs for 20 years. They call his books the gold standard in the studies of the lungs. He found some amazing statistics. I don't think he knew anything about breathing, but in his studies of the lungs, he found that the lower lung area only will give you 7 times more oxygen and remove 15 times the toxins from your body. Just about the main reason for this is that the heart pumps blood down many times easier than the heart pumps blood up. Just common sense. The lower lungs are full of blood, ready to extract the oxygen from the atmospheric air and put it directly into your bloodstream. But we don't use the lower lungs. We use the upper lungs, and it's called shallow breathing. Just about every human being on the planet breathes through the upper lungs. A baby breathes through the lower lungs, which provides the baby immunity against bacteria and virus and fungi and all that after they leave the mother's womb. Here's another statement by Lung Institute of Canada showing the connection between the brain and oxygen. The brain is only 4 pounds in the human body and uses 20% of the oxygen. The Lung Institute even jokes about this a little bit in the article and says 5 in 5 Canadians need to breathe. The newspaper articles are online. This was done 2 years ago by York Region Media Group. This is another article done by a local reporter in a local paper, Stouffville Free Press, a few months ago. Now, should this take diabetes by example? Why should this dramatically improve or cure diabetes? As you'll see with Anwar's statement on the oxygen cures, Anwar says he cured his diabetes in 90 days. I have 2 more ladies that have also reduced their A1C level very, very quickly and appear to be on their way to curing their diabetes. Now, why, as an example of one illness or disorder, why should this cure diabetes? This is, there's many studies on this too, but as this article here indicates, oxygen, when it enters the bloodstream, transforms glucose into an energy called ATP for muscles. So one of the first things people feel when they try this breathing is instant energy and strength, which is, I believe, the transformation of glucose into energy. These are all the things I've seen over the last 6 years. When I started this breathing 6 years ago, my atrial fibrillation and genetically high cholesterol both disappeared. Now, I don't think they're cured. I think what it is the high blood oxygen level just takes away the high cholesterol, only because the blood oxygen level is high. If a person stops the breathing and the blood oxygen level goes back down again, then whatever conditions that person had are probably something they were born with, or some are, some aren't. But if you're born with them, they just come right back again. Some of the other illnesses or diseases that a person develops because of environmental situations, highly toxic environmental, some of those are brought on by the environment, and it seems that the high blood oxygen level just cures those by removing so much of the toxins from the body. The hands are another indication of blood flow. As you can see how pink my hands are, and generally my face is too. As we all know, if a child comes home and they're suddenly pale, we know that they've suddenly caught something. This works for everyone. Anyone that says it doesn't work either is not doing it right, or they actually just don't want it to work. Anyone that says it doesn't work, to me it's like saying, I've tried drinking water and it doesn't hydrate. Oxygen heals the body, and all the person has to do is get the air down to the lower lungs. It's as simple as this. You can probably hear that velocity on the video. I stumbled upon 2 things. First, I learned this from scuba diving and free diving in the ocean 50 years ago when we practiced increasing our blood oxygen levels so we could stay underwater for quite a long time. I stumbled upon two additional things other than deep breathing, and that's velocity and repetition. Add those two things to deep breathing, and the health benefits of deep breathing, I think, become 100-fold. Velocity takes the air deeper, and it can't be stopped. All that air, I can feel it going right down to my lower lungs, providing 7 times more oxygen and removing 15 times the toxins. Thank you very much.